Hello and welcome back. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I've been selling on eBay for over 22 years, but currently it's in a wholesale business model, and my husband and I are looking to retire in 3 years, so I'm trying to rebuild this business, or a secondary business to the one that I have in the wholesale model, to be a part-time retirement income. I'd like to be able to make some six-figure income, six-figure year annual income with a $3,000 a month income, selling between 10 15 items a day and making maybe $20 a profit per item. So this is my adventure of getting started in that, and so now we're into week 6, and the insights this week, I don't have a ton of insights other than to say I know I am a queen. I'm gonna just tell you that, okay? My son has been in Tampa at college, and my husband and my son just went down. Took about 5 to 6 days for them to go down and move him out of his off-campus apartment and back into New Jersey. And during that time, I had to do the packing. And this is where I know I'm a queen, because it was hot. I was bothered. I didn't want to do this stuff. I mean, I was grateful for the sales. Trust me, Lord. But to do all that physical, hot labor work, oh man, I'm like, to give you an idea, in the wholesale business model, my husband does all of the receiving and shipping, all the physical work out in the warehouse, and I do all the sourcing and the computer and sit down in the house with the air conditioning mode. That's me. Okay, I admit it. Counting them hours down till they got back, so I didn't have to do any more shipping. So it was really too that I don't know if you watch my other videos, and I apologize if you find it annoying, because I sure do. I have been found to have a polyp on my tonsils that are at the base of my tongue, which, did you know? 'Cause I didn't know that was such a thing, that you have 3 sets of tonsils. I had the ones in the back of my throat, my adenoids taken out years ago, decades ago, and so now they're finding this. So it's very aggravating. That's where you see me swallowing a lot and stuff. So she put me on prednisone to try to shrink this polyp, but God, man, it just makes me feel so hot, and yeah, it's disgusting. So yeah, so that's kind of where I was during the week, was handling that. I was making some sales with my paper that I talk about, that I use with my making of the greeting cards. I did make some sales with those. I had a couple other sales, which I'll do a wrap-up video. Today's August 2nd. I'll do the video tomorrow of the week stuff. But during the week, I picked up 2 things off of Facebook Marketplace, and what a rabbit hole you can go down with that. I'm just telling you right now, just beware. I picked up one thing that was a vintage Santa that I've already listed and put up for sale, and the other thing I picked up, it was huge, twice the size I expected. It's a figural Santa, looks like he's sleeping, tree stand for the base, a base or whatever you want to call it. So I'm planning to keep that, and I'm sure my husband's going to be real happy for that. So that was that. Then yesterday I went on Thursday night, because there was a gentleman that I mentioned that I've been trying to build a relationship with, that runs some of my local estate sales, and I wanted to see what he had going on, because I wanted to keep that relationship kind of thing going. Spoken to him twice on the phone, but I know I wanted to meet him, and I knew he had a couple sales coming up, but it wasn't a whole lot I was interested in. But when I looked at the one he was doing for yesterday, I forgot there was this 4-piece canister set made by Lennox that was at this house. And when I looked it up, there has been 4 listed over the past year, and they've all sold, and there's only currently like individual canisters left on eBay. And I knew I could sell them between $200 and $250 type of thing. I listed them for $300, expecting I'm going to probably get some offers on them. So we'll see. So I wanted to get over there, to introduce myself, kind of have that face-to-face rapport, and that did happen. That went well. He does have some yard sales or estate sales coming up, and he did offer to let me in to preview, which was exactly what I was looking for. So that'll probably be not next week, but the following week. he's got 2 coming up this week, but I looked online. They do a really good representation of their items in the pictures, and I'm going to tell you that I was not really seeing so much anyway, but the one that's happening the following week, which I think is like the 15th, 16th, somewhere around there, those he doesn't have any pictures up yet, and I understand the house is just chock full of stuff, so we'll see. So that's coming up, but I did get there around 7:30. Good thing I did, because I was the first one. Got there, I was there about a half hour, started doing some research. I highly recommend is doing a Google search for the address, because the 2 that I've been to with him now have been in over 55 senior citizen type of communities, and those houses have a lot of sold comps and things. I was looking for the layout of the house, because especially the last house, I realized that where they took the pictures of the items isn't where they placed the items for the day of the sale. And the house that I was going to yesterday had very little stuff in the house other than the furniture and the artwork. And I saw the canisters on a kitchen counter. Obviously, I knew I kind of probably wanted to do the kitchen. I wasn't sure, because there was like a room with a recessed porch to the right of it, and I wasn't sure how the house laid out. And the kitchen happened to be in the diagonal corner from where you came in. So I got there at 7:30, started to look at like I said, the layout of the house, and there was a white sign on the door. No, my luck, I'd probably get there and they would say like the house has been, the sale's been postponed or something. But it wasn't. It was just, we have to register with the city. It's free, but you have to register to tell them you're having a sale. But it's good thing, because I went up and looked at that, and the blinds on that front room were open, and I could look in there, and I could see they had all the stuff laid out. That was the small stuff on the tables. And I was looking because I wanted to see like if they had placed that canister set in there. And there was a bag, they call it vegan leather, which cracks me up. It's like us Generation X people call that pleather, okay? But it was applique with a dog on it, and they were selling for about $60, $65. So I wanted those 2 items. And I was looking in the blinds, peeping Tom, and I probably, whatever. And I caught a glimpse of a box, like just the corner of a box of a styrofoam container, and it looked to be like some figures, and something just told me that's probably a nativity set. And as I mentioned, this is an over 55 group, so I had a feeling it was probably going to be some kind of vintage, desirable something or another. Just was what I told myself. It's going to probably be a nativity. So I got there, like I said, at 7:30. Was kind of trying to chill my car, because I mentioned before it was hot. Remember, I said it's like 95, just disgusting. Doesn't this group of women pull up, and they got to get out? And I'm like, God, could you just sit in your car and rest? Like, really? No. So now I got to get out, because I got to make sure I assert myself being first. So we get up there, I'm on the porch, and we're chit-chatting. And then another group of ladies come, and they start shopping outside. They're like taking the statues out of the flower beds. I'm like, are you allowed to do that? Apparently you can, because these people were doing it. So that was a new thing to me. We should just go. They were walking around the whole house, picking up stuff. I mean, one came from the backyard with some chairs, and it's like, wow. Yeah, I'm just not used to that level of, I guess, shopping. Anyway, so thank God I did get there early, because about 10 after, the people that run the sale got there, and by 8:30 at the latest, they had those doors open for us to go in. And I'm going to tell you, I was 2 steps, one in the door, had to walk past her little table that she had herself set up for to do all the checking out. I swiped the thing of her sold stickers as I went by, thank God, and I was 2 steps and 1 arm length in front of the woman that was behind me to put my sold sticker on those canisters. And I'm gonna tell you, that lady was like, so I got the canisters by 2 steps and an arm length and a sticker, and I left there, and I went into the master bedroom, and there was 2 closed doors, and I figured, it's the closet and the bathroom. So I went back out into the living room, and I said to the lady, is there clothing in the bedroom, or did you put them somewhere else? And she's like, there's no clothing here. And I said, well, there was a bag. And the woman real loud says, oh, the bag. Oh, over here. And I'm like, can you keep it down? Because I don't need somebody else grabbing his bag. Well, thank God I asked her, because she had it hanging on a doorknob with this coat. This other lady that was there, lady was so annoying. she was like, oh, I was looking for that bag, just as the lady holding the sale hands me the bag that I had asked about. And I'm thinking, lady, I'm buying this bag. It was $9. It was a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but it was in really, really good shape. And like I said, they're selling for like $60, $65. So yeah, I'm taking the bag. She followed that lady that wanted that bag. Oh my God, she followed me through the whole. I was there for easily. I could have been in and out in 10 minutes in this sale. Like seriously, that's how quick it went. And she just kept following me around because I went into the room. She had the bag hanging on the doorknob to the door that went in where all the small stuff was. So I went in there to take a look. And when I got in there, the Thomas Kincaid pictures that I had taken a look of, that I wanted to have an interest of, were sitting there, and they were $20. But the problem with them was they were small, and they were only selling for about $40. And I couldn't do a ton of research ahead of time because they flashed out the picture when they took the picture of the picture, so you couldn't really see a lot of the detail of the picture. So I didn't really know specifically which ones they were. And I had just put my bag down, the big BJ bags I told you before that I use, that are like the 24 by 24 inch base bags. Those things are phenomenal. I had taken that bag in with me, had put my personal pocketbook in there, and this bag that I was buying, and I just set it on the floor to look at the pictures, the Thomas Kincaid pictures, and realized I didn't want them. And I turned around to look at what I thought was a nativity, and it was. Doesn't some gentleman start going through my stuff? I'm like, sir, that's my personal bag. He would not stop looking. So I had one lady hawking out all my stuff, trying to like see if I was going to put something down. I had this guy going through my personal stuff. I'm like, what is going on? There's not that much stuff in this house for this confusion. Anyway, so it was a nativity scene, and it was $20. I have it listed, I think, for $70. It's okay. It wasn't. I was hoping it was a Fontanini or whatever that brand is. I was hoping it was that, but it wasn't. And so I bought the 3 things. But like I said, that lady was following me all over. I had to go and get the canisters and kind of wrap them up to take them. And the whole time she's standing there like looking at. I'm like, what? So anyway, I paid $89 for the 3 items, and I think I have everything listed for $430. So we'll see how that goes. So then I told you about the rabbit hole of Facebook. So I was on there looking to see for sales for today, which is Saturday. And there was a lady that had posted a bunch of individual items. And there were these beautiful ornaments I wanted. And it was like pulling teeth. I couldn't get her to give me, like, she's like, well, you have to take them now. It's whoever gets them first. Okay, well, where are you? Well, we're having a moving sale. Well, where are you? Could not get like hours, address. And then in the meantime, she keeps posting stuff. So I was looking at one thing, and I see she was listing a bed, and I'm like, can you tell me if you're selling the bedding? I would like this bedding that you had on there. And she's like, well, everything's for sale. So now I'm like, okay. So now I'm going back through every post she has, and I found these lucite poinsettias that I love. I saw them in a showroom down in the merchandise mart I had been in before, and they were just using them as like a prop. But I was like, I kept telling them, you need to reproduce these things. And I saw them on a dresser she was putting in there for sale. And I'm like, I would love to have those poinsettias if you're selling everything. So her and I started talking about that. And then finally, I get the address out of her. And by then, she sold the ornaments on me. I'm like, oh, God, whatever. So here, come to find out, it's a cousin helping, it's a female cousin helping her male cousin move in with her. She's from Texas. I mentioned we're in New Jersey. And she's a school teacher. She's got to be out of here by like next week because they start earlier than we don't start till after Labor Day here, but she starts in the middle of August. And the wife died like a couple days ago, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, is this what you want to be doing? But they don't, they don't have time. They have to do it. So I went and I looked around, and it was a lot of Walmart stuff. This woman was really in her holidays, and I mean, she turned her house from top to bottom into a theme of whatever the holidays. Like, the summer is sunflowers, and I'm telling you, the Glade plugins had sunflowers on it. She had the shades that went over her candelabra type of light fixture. They were all like either a sunflower, pumpkins for the fall, poinsettias for Christmas. She had it from top to bottom. but it was a lot of it was just a lot of like Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and I was looking for more like vintage type of stuff. The only really vintage thing I got was the poinsettias that I mentioned for and I think I'm going to keep some of them. I got quite a few, so I bought, there's like 3 bouquets worth that are probably a good 12 inches tall, and then there's a bag of the loose flowers. So I'm going to see. I'm not sure exactly yet which I'm selling, but we're probably keeping some and selling some. So that I got. She had some nicer stuff, but it was kind of priced high. So I'm going to keep an eye on her for that. But it was difficult because she just kept following me everywhere, which was fine, but I couldn't look anything up. I felt very rude doing that in front of her, and I guess I need to get that shtick down a little bit better as to admitting I'm a reseller and that kind of thing. But one of the things that the gentleman had brought out, whose house it was, apparently it was his mother-in-law's stuff that he had in the garage. It's been in there since, like he said, the 90s. And it was all these wrapped up things of mice and cheese, and it was all these like figural things. And there was 2 boxes of like a medium or large flat rate postal box they were using to store these in, and they were $10. So I took a chance. There's a lot in there. We'll see. Like, I really need another thing to list. But there's a gentleman by the name of Holt Howard that's from like that era of the 50s that had a whole collection of stuff with mice, and that stuff used to sell, from my understanding, in like the 5 and 10 shops back in the day. And it's very desirable now. So I'm taking a chance on this $10. I didn't see any evidence that there was one in there, but this stuff is of that era. They're all made like in Japan. A couple of them were marked and stuff. So I really believe I couldn't make back at least my $10. I mean, when I'm telling you, each box has to have 20 or 25 items wrapped up in an old newspaper in there. And I should have looked at the dates. I didn't on the newspaper. I'll get back to you on that one. But so to wrap this up, wasn't a ton of sales. There was not a ton of things that I went out to go get. I tried to be very targeted because I have a lot of money out right now in this business, and I need to really kind of cool it. I need to get into more of the store stock and the personal stuff and get that stuff listed, because I have a lot of that yet too. And just focus on the paper. I made a point with my husband and my son being gone to really kind of had to just take my downstairs and rein in all the paper to see what was listed, what was not, what I could make up for a listing, because I had different partial packs of paper that I needed to kind of collectively put together and get a feel for what was available. So I've got a good handle on all that now, trying to get all my listings on eBay for that. And it's funny, you list it, it sells. Isn't that amazing how that goes? So that's where I'm at. I'll do a wrap up tomorrow. So there wasn't a whole lot of insights. I guess my only advice is to just keep plugging away. Do not let it defeat you. Like I said, I can see sales picking up the wholesale side. I do believe it's probably going to be about another week or two, and then we'll start seeing that tide turn, because that's when the people are going to have to start wrapping up their summer plans. Kids will start going back to school, and you may not have kids, but it's amazing how much the school schedule affects the whole economy and the way things happen. So we'll see. I'll report back. I'm back. This is Kristen, and it is August 5th, and it is my birthday. I am 54 years old. Where does the time go? So I woke up well, let me back up. I told you I've been doing some sourcing at retail stores, and I got into my group, and again, I mentioned how being in those groups are good for education and stuff, and somebody posted, like, when's the flash sale for the Halloween goods? I'm like, flash sale? I'm not real familiar what this means, but I started reading the comments, and here they did a 12-hour flash sale last night for 50% off. I got my stuff with a 20% off coupon. So I went on and I was able to purchase If I had purchased 6 to 8 items, 2 of them I just got, so they're out of the newest release of their stock. Out of the other like 6, I was able to repurchase like 5 of them at the 50% off. So my plan is I'm on my way. I'm gonna go after this and pick them up, and I have my receipt for the 20% off. So I'm going to go in and pick up the stuff at 50 and then just right around return it with the 20% off. It's going to change the dynamics of this stuff quite a bit. So it's a little bit of running around, but you know what? Just a minute. I'm a Starbucks queen. I'm at Starbucks every day. That's a whole nother thing before you come after me for that. I use reward points, and let me tell you, it's very rare I act to actually buy myself. Today's was actually my birthday drink. So it is literally a quarter of a mile, if that, that I'm going to be going to pick it up, so it's not a big deal. So it was one good thing that I could do last night. So I know I'm going to get myself, I sold one of those items, and I had gone yesterday morning and repurchased the item again. And honestly, that particular item is out of stock, so I couldn't even get it. And then that was last night. So then I was just chilling. I was gonna just today's Monday, but I was gonna just kind of chill for my day. And I got a text message from the woman that I mentioned I had the moving sale going on, and I mentioned previous that I had asked about these ornaments, and she sold them out from under me. Remember that? Get upset about it. I'm a firm believer. I am a firm believer in what is meant for you is going to be coming for you. And it may not be at the time limit or the times that you want it to be, but it always has a purpose and a reason for why you do or don't get, and when you do get. It's always something. So she texted me this morning, and she says, I found another tote with all of these ornaments in it. Are you interested? And I was like, yes. So I'm gonna be right back, and we're gonna go check out what I picked up. So here is this huge tub. This is probably another 12 inches longer than a typical tub of this size. This is the extra large one, and this whole thing, she did have more. If you have not been familiar, these are the lucite poinsettias that I was talking about. These ones are loose. The other ones, like I said, I'll show those later, and I'll give you an update on the mice and the figures. And then I did find this, which was a tree topper. That is a lucite poinsettia tree topper. I don't even know. Let's see if this thing is even grounded. I don't think that's how old. I don't even think that thing is grounded. So so I got those, and I got this. I'm trying to figure out if I can find a way to station this somewhere. So if you're not familiar with Shiny Bright, yeah, these are old. Maybe I'll be right back. Let me put this in the ground. Okay. This, I can tell you, these are very desirable. These are clip-on, and the ornaments, I didn't even honestly open them up. I knew exactly what they were. I know how desirable they are. They are glass candle ornaments, and they go inside of those. Those are nice. I would not be surprised if these are Shiny Bright as well. I see something in there that looks gold, so I'm guessing they're not all the same. That has like a red flame. I have some of these from Waterford on my tree. I know what the Waterford ones go, and I'm going to tell you these ones are older, so I'm going to put them there. This is Shiny Bright ornaments, and these, I'm gonna have a really tough time trying to decide what I'm keeping and what I'm parting out. These are old. I have no idea the value of these. I'm going to have to take a look. I know there's different styles where they have the stenciling on them. I mean, even if it's not necessarily shiny bright, but the age of these things, oh my God. Holy moly. These things are beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I do know that these other ones, these are called like a UFO shape. Oh my God, they're shiny bright too. Those are probably more money. This one has like a star. Oh my God. I can't even tell you what these are going to be worth yet. I paid $30 for this whole tub. I don't know yet if I'm parting these out. Oh my God. Woolworth. You know how old Woolworth has been out of business for us? Holy moly. Here's another. Oh my God. These things. This is going to take me a while. Let me go down even further. This is a haul. This has to be worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. As you can see, I have more over here. I'm really not wanting to, I don't know that I want to continue in a parking lot and videotape this, because just for that reason, I don't want to break anything. None of these are really broken. They're all in really good shape. And, yeah, I'm going to have to be back. I'm going to have to do this at home. And, wow, I was not thinking. I mean, to have these in boxes and wow. Okay, if you can't understand, I am like really, really excited right now because that was just one row worth, and there's 2 more rows in there. So I'm going to, like I said, I don't want to be recording this anymore because I don't want to break anything. So I'll be back and I'll give you an update. I'm back in the car now, and I'm sorry, the air is kicking because I said it's hot here in New Jersey. And I literally just put them back in the tub because I really, there was so many. I did do a brief search, and depending on some of what I saw, the stencil ones, somebody had a big lot of them up. I want to say like maybe 48. Those were going for like $400 to $500. So I didn't have that many of them. But then those ones that I saw were like the UFO, they're calling them atomic or something, trinate something. Somebody sold like 8 of them for like 2 something. So yeah, there could be hundreds of dollars in that tub. So we'll see. What I plan to do is I'm going to take them home. I'm going to get them all situated out. I do know that there is some significance to the stamping of the tops, those metal tops. So I got to go through and start doing a little more research. But it looks like huge score. So an update on the cheese and mice stuff. The boxes literally came into my house. I don't even know how. It was like a wing and a prayer. I don't know. Because the one box, when I started to take them, I loaded them onto the front porch and front steps of my house. And as I was setting it down, I realized there wasn't a box. I literally had the paper of something wrapped up in my hand underneath of it. Thank God I was holding it underneath. The only thing I can tell you is that they were wrapped in like a white butcher kind of paper, and I'm really happy it was white, because I think if it was newspaper, it probably would have left some kind of inking on these things, and I probably would have been in a different situation where I'm at with them. But I think the box got wet and then shuffled around some, and literally the paper holding the ornaments had like re-dried together to make a new bottom. That's the only thing I can figure out, because even like the tape that was holding it wasn't attached to these ornaments, or these figures, which I thought was kind of weird. So when I unwrapped, I probably have, like, I'm gonna say 60 pieces that came out of these 2 boxes, and maybe 20 of them were something to do with these mice and this cheese. There's one that's worth like 25-ish. Several of them I just put right in the donate pile. They literally were only like worth like $5. I'm debating, depending now on what I'm seeing, I may not even bother with the $10 items. I did a video in the past, and I talk about that, where, you know, when you get $10, it's just not worth it. I'm probably going to skip some of that. And the conditions are good. I'm surprised, because when I walked in, this was a house with an undertone of cigarette smoke, which I don't smoke. If you do, I'm sorry if you find it offensive, but I find it offensive. But that's a smell that you can't get out of stuff. There's staining that goes with that, and I avoid that like the plague. That and anything that I think has had pet urine on it and stuff. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of that either. So this house definitely had undertones of somebody that had smoked, and possibly like cat urine. But this stuff that I got was in very good condition. Maybe this was something from the prior owners from when they moved in, I don't know, but this stuff was in these. I only think I had one item that I found. No, I had one item that looked like it had been repaired, and it was these Humpty Dumpty salt and pepper shakers that were literally selling for like $6. So those right away went into the donate pile. And then I had, I think, one other item with a couple what they call like flea bite chips off of one of the mice ears, and that particular item, it was only selling for like $12, and that was with another item that I didn't have. So I said, forget that. That went right in the donate pile too. But the other like 40 items, which truthfully it's got to be more than that, because I wound up finding this collection of cat figures. Now, I'm a cat person, but I'm going to tell you, like, this was way overboard of cat figures. So there were miniature, like, curios, and one was a bisque ceramic, which, if you're not familiar, bisque ceramic doesn't have that glaze, that soft glossiness to it. It's very rough feeling, and it's just very matte looking. And there was a collection of those, easily had to be 15 to 20 of those, and I knew they were a collection, and I'm gonna lot that one up. I'll take a video when I get home, because I just took this late last night. But then there was another one, and it had Franklin mint on the bottom of them, and I was kind of finding it strange because there was no two alike. Every one of them was something different. Well, it must have been one of those, maybe like Cat of the Month or something. And I was shocked. One of them, I guess they must have had different manufacturers that made the Cat of the Month, because the one is the Moj, and that one sold for $70. Like I said, I probably have 25 to 30 of these cats. On average, they were selling from 10 to 20. But some of them, when I looked, and I didn't, I got to go back and do more research. It could be, I don't want to misspeak, but I don't think that some of these are even like being offered right now. Sorry, like I said, I had to turn the air off because I was just so hot. So I'm gonna go back and now do the research. I was just doing the research last night to get a feel for what it was that I had, because some of the stuff had stickers on it, some of it doesn't have stickers. The one that I'm going to sell that was cats that are all together, like they had, like it was like a PG art studio or something. It was like that, and it stands for like Princeton Gallery, I think. So those are the ones I'm going to lot up. I saw some people put them in smaller, but I just want it gone. Truthfully, I just want to get my money back and make that gone. And then one of the other things I had in the back was she had blow molds that were 4 to a chain of lights, and you were supposed to use them for outdoor, like along your pathways. And when I did some research last night, I wasn't finding a ton with that, but I feel that if I could do like 2 boxes, because now I have 4 boxes of 4, I think I'm going to lock them up as 2 and 2, and I think I'm going to do better with that. And she made a better deal for me today, so we'll work on that. So my plan today is I have to go pick up this stuff to get my my discount, and then I just need to get on that stuff that I bought from her. I have most of the clothes. I have 2 items left from the 95 house yard sale drafted, so that means I got to take a bunch of pictures, and then I can get all of that stuff up, and then I'll show you a picture when I get home, because I'm going to have to clean that table off to get ready for all of this load, which I'm sure the husband's going to really love me for. But that stuff I want to get listed. It's going to be simple, it's going to be similar, and just move it along. I think what I'm going to wind up doing is probably breaking this week up into a 2-part series. So I think right now, maybe I'll end this video here, and then I'll try to keep it at a shorter video, and then I'll do the wrap up from last week, and this will be the start of next week, because it's kind of tough. Like I said, this sale is, kind of straddling the 2 weeks the way it's going, and I was kind of sad. She had these Halloween glasses. I think they were Libby, but they weren't like huge sellers, but I'm in a couple groups I told you, and I think the designs on them and stuff, I probably could have just flipped them today, and unfortunately somebody come in, and I've been watching what she was posting, and she was posting a lot of like exercise bikes, power tools, and I wasn't seeing that she even put out a post about there being a moving sale. So somehow I missed the post that she did put out, because when I tell you it was clean, there was so much gone. I told her that, and I could see the relief in her face, and I told her, I said, you definitely seem a lot more relaxed, and she's doing this through Friday. I do have plans on Wednesday to do something. Today is Monday, so I think I'll end this video today. I'll do another part 2, and in the part 2 will be going into next week, but it'll give you the wrap up. I think honestly, I'm probably going to just start doing maybe the top 5 sellers of the week, and try to keep the financial part down. I'm sure you're going to be enjoying that, but I don't know that it starts getting repetitive, and it's things like the fees and stuff. How do I recommend? Just Google eBay fees calculator. You can easily find what the fees are going to be. They're transparent. They're not changing. Although I did sign up for the store on, I'm losing track of time, I think it was Saturday night, because I'm getting to that point where it economically makes more sense that I have too many listings, and now I'm going to be paying, and it was going to make more sense economically to do the store. And I can also get categories, because I realize that my buyers that are coming in for the paper that I sell are probably not going to be my buyer for all the other collectible stuff. But I know for myself that if I'm buying vintage or collectible Christmas, it would be much better to be able to just go into a category for Christmas and see everything. I mentioned I bought at the one estate sale a bunch of Hallmark snowman, and I think it was 15 or 18 of those. I'm going to be able to market them better by having a store category. That possibly, I have to do the research. I think I can set something so that during checkout they can see that other stuff. So that is the end of this week. I would highly, please, get content, subscribe down below. I'm trying to build this channel up. And it also gives me some feedback if you comment as to whether or not you're getting good content out of this, or if there's something I should be further explaining. So I will catch you in the part 2 for this. It's Kristen, and I'm back. Here was the nativity scene that I bought from the estate sale. That was on the 2nd, I think, of August. And this is where I said I saw the corner of this. It made me think that was nativity. So that was the nativity scene. And this is what I'm going to show you. This is what I bought for $10. If you can imagine all of this stuff. As I mentioned, most of the stuff was not really. This was probably the most expensive. I think I'm going to sell this for $20 to $30. This was like maybe 15. I've decided if it's not going for like 15, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. This is like a little radio. These are salt and pepper shakers. This, and there's another one of them. Oh, actually I put them together. The one is kind of really needs some cleaning, so I don't know. Here were some miscellaneous tchotchke ones. This is an old Inesco. I have yet to figure out what he is. This is a little tiny Matriska doll set. These are from Homco, which I think was like a Home Interiors or something. There's apparently a third one, but I only have the two. These look like some kind of Mexican pottery. They didn't. I looked them up. They didn't seem to be too much. This was a very like primitive looking little. I don't know. It's kind of scary almost. She has a flower that when I kind of started handling her fell off, and she's got this tiny little cat. I don't even know if it's going to show up. Yeah, it's a little scary too. This was kind of interesting. This is like an hors d'oeuvre type of thing. No idea. This is for grated cheese. I did find a selection or a name on that. I thought these would be worth something. This is a Norcrest, which is a brand of vintage ceramics. Didn't really pan out too much. This is a Fitz and Floyd, which is vintage. I thought that would pan out to be much. Again, maybe 20 bucks. These are some unbranded ones. This collection here, I think I counted 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This 15 is this, let me see if I can find, see if it'll stay in there. It's like PG something. If I can get this to there, you can just make it out PG, and then it says handcrafted in Taiwan is what that says. And I understand, I think it's Princeton Gallery or something, so I'm gonna just sell that whole lot. This lot is the one that is from Franklin Mint, and like I said, none of them are the same. There's no one set style, but each one of these was selling anywhere from 10 to 20, with some of them, like this is supposed to be the little Moge piece. When you look at the bottom of it, it just made in Malaysia. That doesn't even say anything. This one does have the Franklin Mint on it, crafted in Taiwan. This has got like a jadeite kind of look to it. So each one of these though, like I said, I was finding, so we'll see how that goes. So that's what I got, all of that for $10, and there's more that I put in the Goodwill bag that's behind me. So I'm gonna get this stuff cleared out before I bring in the Christmas ornaments. I'm gonna be here doing the wrap up of my sales from 7/29 to 8/4, and I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna be as quick as I can because I have done this video at least a dozen times and it's been a mess. I have a lot of sales for my paper. That is my hobby that I do, where I was selling excess paper and then realized I could make some money and turn it into a bread and butter item. So I'm not going to go through those because that is not something you're generally going to see out in the marketplace, although there was one sale that's going to make me a liar in here. So one of the items I purchased was this Mr. Christmas trinket ornament that has a little animated feature where the stuff goes around in the center. I bring this up, and there's going to be another item in the next week that sold because they were just items that were tchotchkes on the table. I wanted to put together some stuff to make a bulk purchase and wanted to bring the price down. I paid $1 for this item. This was during that Lancaster community sale, and it took 6 days to sell. I'm not going to go through every single expense. I will tell you, if you want to read along, the top line gives you the combined price of what was $15 for the item and $6.75 for shipping. The next line is how long it took to sell. The next line is a fixed value fee, which is generally for what I believe to be the collection of funds. The next fee is the commission that you pay, which is the final value fee, which is $3.08. If you want to see how that's calculated, you can just go out there and Google eBay fee calculator and go through the ways of getting to that. It's really generally about 15%. This sold on an ad fee of 49 cents. I pay to have them sponsor and show this ad. The shipping is the next line, which is the 609, and I'm left with $10.69. And then they give you the ROI and net profit. Over here on the left is the purchase price that I allocated as $1 for this item. So I'm taking this and saying that it was $1 to purchase, and within a week it turned into almost 11. Like I said, there is times when you look at these sales and there's just stuff sitting on the table that if you pick it up can turn into some small price. There's some small sales for you. This is another item. These are 2-inch paper mache candy corns that are made. Basically, people use them to scatter along a holiday decoration, like a table or something. They've used them in vases to put around. And it's generally something that, you find, but you don't regularly find these items. I knew when I saw these, they were in a Ziploc bag, just randomly sitting on a table at the very end of the day. And I knew for these, I bought for $1. I knew somebody, when it got closer to the holidays, was probably going to be interested in these items, and I did. I made a full price offer of $19.99, or a full price sale for $19.99. And after everything was said and done, I got almost $17 back. I got $16.79. So these took a little less than 2 weeks to sell. I thought that was great for $1 to turn into almost 17. Another item then keep going up in my values was these pumpkins. These are just basically painted. This was a woman that was doing ceramics as a side business for herself for years. Her age and her health were deteriorating, and that just made it a difficult situation for her to do. I bought a bunch of different finished ceramic pieces. These are handmade. I'm just showing these in the sense that something handmade can be desirable. I made the mistake of listing them as free shipping because my similar seems to default to free shipping for some reason. I probably could have gotten better money on this had I waited a little bit longer. They had a lot of views. I don't know why this particular lot had the views that they did. But even after the mistake of charging free shipping, I still took my $2 purchase price and turned it into $17. And it took about 2 weeks for them to sell. One of the other items, which is what's going to make me the liar, is I did find a sale at that big community sale, and she was selling, this is some of the paper that's similar to what I'm selling as my bread and butter item. Although these are partial paper packs, and this is a much more higher desirable brand by some. It's a higher quality, I guess you should say. The woman wanted to just get rid of stuff, and she offered me these 3 for $1. She said, just take them for $1. She didn't want to pack them up. I sold them in 4 days. And after paying the, assorted fees, I came out with an $18.97 return. So my $1 in 4 days turned into almost 19. So I was very happy with that. Another item was not as profitable, but I was really happy with this sale. This was a new grandmother buying this item for her new grandbaby. And it's a thing that you put in a shopping cart to keep the baby while you're grocery shopping or, Target, Walmart, whatever, grocery stores. This had 100% sell-through rate. I was surprised it took 24 days to sell, but this was just a feel-good sale. Like I said, the grandmother was very confused. It was some of her first purchasing on eBay. She didn't understand how to change different things in there, and I helped walk her through it. She left some glowing reviews for me. I paid $5.99 for it, and I sold it for $13. $13 is my net profit. So I basically doubled my money. But like I said, I was very happy with helping that lady out. It took 24 days to sell that. And like I said, it was 100% sell-through rate. I was really kind of surprised it took that long, but it was just a black and white print. It was floral. Maybe the print wasn't so desirable. Maybe that's why it was taking so long. I really thought I was going to sell that within like the first day or two. And then the last 2 items up are items that this one is a item I did retail arbitrage for. This is from Bath & Body Works. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be shelving my Bath & Body Works retail arbitrage for a while because I have a lot of cash outlay, and I'm sorry, this phone keeps moving. There's a lot of cash outlay, so I'm going to be taking quite a bit back. This was basically the only one that really sold. It did sell for a desired amount, which was my $59.99 offer. It took 2 days. So all of that looks fabulous. But I put out $25.55 and I still netted $26.94. So that all looks good. but you really have to understand their sales, you have to understand their coupons, you have to understand the reward programs. So there's a lot of things to this, and right now is their best season between the Halloween and Christmas sales, and I just don't have the time to devote to it. And like I said, I have quite a bit that I put out that did not sell, that I'm getting to the point of the 30-day mark pretty much, that will be going back. And all that running around and all that has to be considered as well. So that's did sell. And then my number one highest item was an item I purchased at that same community sale in Lancaster. I paid $2 for this. It's a vintage Coach pocketbook that I sold for a full offer of $79.99. Sold it in about 12 hours. I probably must have undercut myself because this didn't even sell on an ad. So this tells me somebody must have been looking for this. I made a really good return of $65.36 on this. I really was lenient about doing things with the purses. I really was not feeling that I was that knowledgeable, and I was hesitant. But having sold several of these now and did a little bit, not much more education, I feel like this is definitely something I want to keep an eye out for. And you can't sneeze at these returns, So this is my wrap up for this week. I'm hoping you're enjoying this content. I would appreciate if you leave some comments down below that lets me know what you're, finding useful in this, what you're not finding useful, what you'd like for me to, maybe touch on. And I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up if you are getting inspiration or some kind of good, information you can use in your own business. And I would really appreciate if you could subscribe down below. That would help me grow the channel, but it would also put my upcoming videos in your feed when I get them uploaded. So I'm going to say bye for now, and we'll catch you next week.